So we're driving around Ohio. It is Christmas time, so we had a little Christmas shopping. Kids got to go swimming last night. Everybody's happy here in Ohio, but man, for the week of this week for the stable.ca, and quite frankly, I don't know that we've ever had more of a roller coaster week in my life than we had this week. We had some bad news. We had some good news. We had horses that won the Open, raced in the Open, horses that have qualified. We've been waiting to see qualify, horses that have raced well, we've been waiting a long time. Maybe not long time, but a horse like LD's Patrick, man, although that was the bottom class, and he's supposed to beat those horses, there was no gimmies the way he was racing. We expected him to come back great, and he was good, but he just wasn't there yet. He just wasn't where we were hoping he would be. And that's racing, and we learned a lot about horses this week. Hey, how frail they can be from time to time, and how strong they can be from time to time. And it's, you know what, the good part of the roller coasters this week was very uplifting. The win in the Open from Sintra, the preferred handicap from Sintra. Kings County continued to race good. Patrick the Piranha showed signs he was on his way back to his form that he had in the not so distant past. No Free Lunch got to sit out a week after racing so good for like 7 or 8 weeks in a row. But then we weren't without the downsides of the stable, horses that ended up sick. It was a tough week in some respect and a great week in others. But that is, I guess, we all got a very good look at the bookends of horse racing. And we'll talk about some of those throughout the day. We're going to talk about the 2-year-olds, the 3-year-olds, the yearlings. We're going to talk about everything today, but I might not do the stables. I have the time to do the stables today, but really with so much moving, and there are some horses that I'm not sure if they're staying in the places they're at or if they're moving right away. A lot to go over, a lot to talk about. Then we had the yearlings. How good did they look for the most part in their opening sessions from First Line Training Center? Then from Northfield Park. Speaking of Northfield, we're going to have our open house next Saturday. Good. Harry's all moved up. Amy said Harry Polton is all moved up to First Line Training Center. So we have all our boys and girls under one roof in Ontario. So that's good. Again, as I said, we're going to have an open house at Northfield Park. I was trying my best to figure out, listen, it's certainly not that we're trying to have a diminished open house in Ontario. It's just not that easy. Just because First Line's a great training center, but it isn't the most fan-friendly training center. The sight line is not there. There's a lot of people on site, so to have large groups of people on site is not easy at all. But the good news is, it's 15 minutes south of a place that can hold as many of us as they want in Mohawk Raceway. So we are going to have an open house, a Christmas party, if you will, in Ontario at Mohawk Raceway. It's going to be a little tricky for me, a little driving for me, but that's okay. It's nothing I'm not used to or not okay with. So we're going to have another drone day in Ontario next Friday, I believe. The reason being is because I want to be there for both of them. So we'll have the drone video, and you're welcome. Anybody wants to come out to First Line Training Center, you are more than welcome to. We will have coffee. We will have donuts. You'll be able to see all the horses you want. Check in with the trainers, the staff. Take pictures. This day is for you. This season, every day virtually is for you. But definitely this season is for everybody. So it isn't that we're trying to push anybody away from coming to First Line Training Center. Quite the opposite. I'm just worried about the capacity at First Line Training Center. So I thought the easiest way to do it would just have a Christmas party. We're trying to secure a number of tables at Mohawk Saturday night, which would be a lot of fun next week. I will leave Sintra home in Ontario for next week. How can I? Just won the preferred. And we'll leave No Free Lunch. We'll have other horses racing next weekend also. So we have a lot going on next weekend for sure in Ontario, but we also have lots going on in Northfield. So that brings me back to why we wanted to have the open house, the next drone session in Ontario on Friday, so that I can be there. And I'm going to get in my car, this car right here, with my wife and kids. And I'm going to drive to Northfield Park Now we're going to be joined by some of our trainers and some friends of ours from Ontario that are going to come to Northfield Park also.
Dad,
Yes.
is someone going to Ohio?
Yeah, next week. Are you coming to Ohio again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to pet the duckies.
Do you want to see the duckies? They might be gone. What's that?
Car wandering?
Is the car wandering? Oh, it's just the wind. Just the wind. So next Saturday I'm going to come here. We're going to have the open house in the morning, 10 to 1 p.m. We're going to have an open house right here at Northfield Park, in this vicinity at Northfield Park, which will be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We handed out some. We're going back to the house here, honey. Going back to the house here with the duckies. We handed out a lot of door knockers today. Now we did it. I don't even know if it was the best idea. It seemed a good idea at the time. We went to a big mall for shopping. So I had the kids, Ollie and Ava and I, we handed out all the door knockers and put them under people's windshield wipers. So I don't even know if we're supposed to or not. But we'll do a couple of communities by Northfield also. And see if we can't get some people out to Northfield Park on Saturday morning. But again, Saturday morning, as is for you. It's always for our clients, and everything we do is always geared towards you, and it should be. So as the holiday season trucks on, it is important that we had an open house. We had during the holidays. We have some more viewings for everybody to see their horses. Very happy with what I saw at Northfield yesterday. Those horses are a hair ahead of the ones in Ontario just because of the proximity of the sales for the most part. Very happy with what I saw from a number of horses. Saw some horses we're going to work on this week that I'm going to be back here going with them on Wednesday morning to make sure that they're squared away for Saturday. Danny O'Brien said that he'd come over next week also. Now James can't. Obviously he's racing. James can't, but Jimmy might come over. Brian Fantana might make an appearance. Jared Bothwell said he'd come over too. He might just want to come over for the brunch though. I don't know. Jared's a great guy. He wants to come over, see if we can get everybody out, have some fun here in Northfield Park. Now, Saturday evening, as soon as we're done with the open house here, everybody, you guys are welcome to stay here. I'm going to take a vehicle, might be the truck, and go back to Ontario. I want to host all of you, all our clients, Mohawk Saturday night. That shouldn't be a problem. If I leave here by 2 o'clock, I'm at Mohawk at 6:15. I'll be upstairs with everybody at Mohawk, stay overnight in Ontario, get up the next morning, and come back here to race Yes and hang out with the kids. I should be back here. No, she's going to miss dance one morning. Well, then, if you want, I can bring her back with me. Take her to dance. Yes, you do. We're going to be here Saturday night. Why do you want to come right back? Well, whatever. We'll figure it out next week. Either way, it should be a lot of fun. Yes, it's going to be a cramped weekend, and we're going to be jammed full of, running around like crazy. But you know what? It's Christmas. I love Christmas, and that stuff doesn't bother me. And Amy's shaking her head. What's wrong?
Because you literally say, oh, I'm having such a bad day, but oh, it's Christmas. So
I love Christmas. That's right. I love Christmas. Christmas trumps almost everything. Trumps almost everything.
Okay.
That's how I feel about Christmas season, in case you're wondering. I don't know. It's clear you don't get that yet.
No, but it's like, that's your excuse.
I love Christmas season. I love everything about it. It's my favorite time of year. I love horse racing, but I love Christmas.
Everybody knows that.
Well, they should know that. So we talked about the open houses. So just to reiterate, next Friday, we're going to call it a drone video, and we'll call it an open house. I'll bring lots of donuts and coffee, please. But maybe we should have Kelly put an RSVP up, just because I know how many people are coming. So these RSVPs are very important for us, especially when we're talking about Northfield, especially when we're talking about First Line, because it lets us know how many people are coming. I don't care about the coffee and donuts, but I want to make sure. And it's a Friday, it's hard, you're right. But still, we should know how many people are coming. But for Saturday, everybody is welcome to Northfield Park. MGM has been very accommodating and very, I was surprised, a little surprised to be some pushback. There was none. They said, absolutely, we want to work with the stable 100%. That means a lot. And I'm very, very happy to partner with them on this. So we are having a little brunch, nothing special, some eggs, bacon, juice, coffee, up at the clubhouse, right on top of the track. You guys will be right front and center of all the action going on. We'll have another 44 or 45 horses going the right way of the track. Now, yesterday was very telling. We started a little late at 10:20. We got it done at 1:45, but we had 8 sets. We're going to scale it back to little bigger sets. 6 sets will be going postward, so to speak, at Northfield on Saturday for the open house there, and then shortly thereafter, I'm going to head back to Ontario to meet up with all you guys at Mohawk, watch Sintra, No Free Lunch, and a number of other horses go, hopefully. So that leads to how the horses did this week. Sintra was amazing last night. Luckily, you get jammed off halfway down the lane, and Sylvain kind of wiggled his way through, and you get up to beat So Much More, who's been one of the best horses on the Jockey Club, regardless of sex, for the last 2-3 years. She is an amazing mare, and we were, I was surprised Sintra closed up shorter than that mare. I was shocked that he closed up. He was 6-5, she was 8-5.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised that he closed up short, but he raced amazing. As I said earlier in the week, Eldise Patrick got back in the swing of things. Now he had his hobbles tight, very tight. James says, Anthony, we got to let those hobbles out. I said, well, James, we let the hobbles out and he breaks, I'm going to be forced to assault you. So if you want to let the hobbles out, then so be it. We can, but just know what's on the line when you do it. So we might let his hobbles out a little bit, but he did. As I said to you the other day, the break in the schooler was because I had taped his knees up. He touched his knee. We put the knee boots back on him. He was much better the other day. He's trotting better. So we got him going in the right direction anyway. So Eldise Patrick, a long road back to where we wanted him, but nevertheless, he's on the road. Kings County was good again. A little roughed up to the quarter. Was he a little flat? Yeah, he's not going to be awesome all the time, but he raced huge to finish third. And then again, Renegade Gypsy was flat last week, had the week off this week, and I told everybody why. We found out he did tie up. For everybody that was concerned, he was just flat out tired. It's not the case. That's not to say he was tired. Wasn't tired. I don't think he is. He might be, but that wasn't the case the other day. And that leads to, obviously, Resolute Bay, who raced good. Didn't race awesome, but raced pretty friggin' good the other day again. White Tiger was a little flat, but again, he's dropping down in class a bit. Sylvain Fillion's going to drive him this week. Stay close. James is. I'm sorry. Sylvain drove him the other day.
Yeah.
I missed a week. I'm sorry. James is driving. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let the little kitties out here to get these houses.
There's all the geese, Addie.
Addie, there's the geese. Ava and Ollie, get your door knocking hands out.
Look at all the puppies.
So this is our neighborhood right here. Pretty quiet. Actually, I can't show you. It's the corner of it. Streets are always quiet. People are always nice.
Very peaceful. Do we
It's
just
very
put
peaceful.
them on their doors and walk away?
Yep. Put them on the doors.
All you gotta do. Not the cars, the doors.
The doors of the houses.
And race back to our house.
No, you're going to walk all the way around. I'll follow you, though. Don't worry about it.
Just don't disturb the two adults.
So we just got some door knockers. We have some Ollie. Oh, so door knockers made up for the open house. Just a simple thing with the QR code that brings people to our page. So as I said, Stay Close finished second, but was running in pretty good. We just got to change the way we look at him. As I said to James the other day, I said, James, the horse was good. He's not the same Stay Close. We need to get it out of our head what he did last year. None of that matters. He's different now. Not different in a bad way, just different. So we got to hang him up normally. Hang him up as to what we can see. What we can see he's doing, not what we believe he used to do, so it must be what he still does. We have no interest in doing that. So that's where we're headed right now with Stay Close. And then Arches Rainbow. Yeah. Arches Rainbow raced great the other day too. Now somebody said, well, she got up and won. Therein lies the statement itself. She got up and won. She could have been third and be like, she hung. She should have won, but she hung. Yeah, she won the race. So maybe that will spring her into a little better career. We'll have her in the normal. I'll tell you what she did do. She trotted around the meadows perfectly. She used to run in pretty good, run out pretty good. Had to watch her in the turn. She's trotting around the meadows perfectly. So I'm very happy with what I saw from Arches Rainbow. Now the next 2 weeks, will be extremely telling in what we do with Arches Rainbow. If she struggles a little bit in the Nommers of 2, then you guys know what's going to happen. She's going to be up for sale, and we're going to move her along. But I am not saying that is what's going to happen at all. I'm not sure what will happen just yet. As I said, Tiger is racing this week. James is driving him from the 8-hole. He should be fine. We talked about Kings County. Took a dive off Dipper. We never talk about him, and I think Took a dive off Dipper is with us. The Cross family has sent that horse for us to train. He's been quietly racing, very, very good, very, very good for quite a while. And look at Ollie staring him down. He's been quietly racing good for quite a while for us. So very happy with what I've seen from Took a Dive off Dipper. Man, it's hot in here. Patrick the Piranha, again, a little bit of a resurgence from him. He's racing better now. Very happy with what I've seen from Took a Dive off Dipper. No Free Lunch has been racing fantastic. He missed a week because he's in the Open now. And it's hard to believe that No Free Lunch has made it all the way to the Open now. Very happy with what I've seen from...
We look creepy right now. Maybe you should move.
I'm not creepy.
You look creepy.
I like that they're racing, though. That's good.
Yeah.
So Patrick the Piranha, I stopped with No Free Lunch. No Free Lunch racing great now. He's up in the Open. I would love to see 2 classes fill next week, but I can't think of a possible way that those 2 horses are not going to have to race against each other next week, and that's just the way it is. Especially when we're having our open house. I'll allow it for this week. I said I wouldn't, but I'm going to have to allow it for this week. It's pretty hard to move No Free Lunch out of Ontario after winning the Preferred, and I know they're not going to allow us to move. Who did I just say?
No Free Lunch or Sintra?
Sintra. I think I said Patrick. Sintra out of Ontario, and No Free Lunch the way he's racing. I can't imagine they won't. So it's possible that both those horses will have to race against each other next week. Good news is, now we have a driver for each of them. Patrick the Piranha, as I said earlier a couple of times, has been racing very, very good all year. Kind of so-so since he got to Columbus or to Dayton, but raced better the other day. I was very happy with what I saw from Patrick the Piranha. Kind of closed up in, he kind of protected him a little bit, and then that horse that won the race, man, that horse looks like a freak. Wow, did he ever let it ride?
Oh, yeah.
Thing one with the earplugs in, wrapped up in 50. It was amazing. J.K. Mickey Mantle, that's very nice of Ava. She just gave that to somebody. Chip off the old block. J.K. Mickey Mantle raced good. 4th place, 3rd last night. You can see, though, especially after we see horses like No Free Lunch explode forward, even as a 5-year-old, to see the talent in J.K. Mickey Mantle and know that he's going to be, 1, he's bred to be a better horse, and 2, it appears that he wants to be a better horse. There's no reason to believe that he won't be a better horse as we continue on with his racing career. Locatelli, another horse that's been amazing. It's only a matter of time for this guy wins the Open once. He's been great, continues to race great, but, got away in a tough spot last week. I knew when the draw came out, James and I both knew that this horse was going to be in a tough spot. But again, it's only a matter of time before he gets it done. Resolute Bay has been just fantastic. We had quite a little poll in the group this week. It's not unreasonable to ask the question, should we sell Resolute Bay? I understand. I told everybody I am going to be Switzerland on this. I'm not going to take a position either way, whether he needs to be sold or not. We know he's worth a lot of money, but I've always advocated on behalf of the horse as a 4-year-old, saying he was going to be a nice horse. Now, we do have clients that also understand if he's not as good as you believe, now's the time to sell him for what we'll get for him right now. And I can't discount that argument either. But at the end of the day, I believe, as I said, there's a case to be made for both points, but I believe we'll keep Resolute Bay. Can you turn that down just a little bit, please? Thank you. What was that? Oh, that's you.
That's punchy.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, now it isn't. So Resolute Bay, I think we'll retain Resolute Bay. I'm trying to work on something really cool between Christmas and New Year's for you guys. And I don't want to even remotely allude to it yet, but it's going to be really cool. I think if I can pull it off. But for now, we'll stay talking about today. And then last on my list to talk about is a horse that I think we're going to be talking about for quite a while, if he races the way he trained and the way that he's been advertised, and that is Looks Like Money. I'll tell you right now, James said the horse trained like an absolute beast the last time he trained him. He's off, 3-4 weeks, so he might be a little bit short. It's funny because he's racing against the horse that we were bidding on, that Ben Bergeron ended up with. If we hadn't have got Looks Like Money for $90,000, we would have probably went to 140 or 150 on the rail horse with us the other night. What was that horse's name? Ben ended up buying him. Majestic J.
Oh, yeah.
Majestic
Oh,
J.
he raced? How did he do?
They're racing against each other for the first time.
Oh, that's who Kemp's in with?
Kemp is in with
Oh.
Looks Like Money and in with Majestic
That
J.
is not fair.
Oh, that's what Kemp's worth. I don't know why do you think he wouldn't be.
He's been off.
That's all right. Jump in. Jump in.
More?
Oh, you're out? Here, you need some more? Just give him get a couple off him because I did our street, honey, so we just got to do to the end of this one. Good for the kids.
There's no more. Is
At
that-
all?
Do you have it?
There's got to be more somewhere.
No,
It might be in the back, and there's got to be more. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so Unbeatable Kemp, Looks Like Money, and Majestic J are going to race against each other, and I know that Ben ended up with Majestic J, and I like the horse. And if I hadn't have bought Looks Like Money previously, before him, I think he was like 20 hips before, 5-10 hips before, we would have been bidding, and Majestic J, he may have still ended up with him, but he would have had to pay a lot more for him, I can tell you that. So, interested to see how that's going to play out. I'm driving Unbeatable Kemp. You know, I'm going to have to borrow James's helmet and make sure that I don't leave with him because he's not ready to go with those horses. He's ready to probably get away 5th or 6th. Tell Ollie that I already did those.
That has two.
Ollie.
Ollie.
Ollie!
We did those ones. Can you go down and do that one?
So, Looks Like Money, Unbeatable Kemp, and Majestic J will all race against each
Dad
other
already
on
did
Monday
those
night.
ones.
So, you guys got a little bit interrupted,
Dad already did those.
but
Can you go down there? I need more. They're all gone.
so as we end up with Sunday, I don't want to dwell on the bad things that happened this week. Everybody that is a part of the groups understands. You know, we did have some bad news. We had some news that was really bad that ended up miraculously okay. But that's going to happen in racing. It's very, very tough to take. It's very, very hard to deal with sometimes. And as I said to one of my partners just moments ago before I started this video, you know, you don't get much more of a roller coaster than we got this week. We won the preferred handicap with Sintra on Saturday to finish out the week, and we started the week with some bad news. And in the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, we got some really bad news. So that's just racing. And I think we have to deal with it as a group together. We have to deal with it as it comes on, and that's that. So for the people that I'm sure you've heard, we lost Sully's Landing. He ended up colicking and passing away here in Ohio, and he was under veterinary supervision for 3 days before it happened. And at the start of the week, we thought 2 very rare cases that are no connections, so to speak, but very rare cases. We thought I was reserved to the thinking that we potentially would lose, punch the clock, and miraculously she turned around, and it looks like she's going to make a full recovery, and quite the opposite for Sully. So the good news and the bad news.
One left.
Well, they're right across from our house. I didn't have one, so that's good. So these are our door knockers. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the bad stuff. We get enough of that throughout the year. Let's focus on the good stuff. We had a great week at the races. Hopefully we have a better week coming up. And for everybody that wants to be a part of, whether it be the open house here at Northfield Park or a Christmas party in Ontario, we're working diligently to get both of them done. It should be a lot of fun on both sides of the border, and I will be on both sides of the border. So we're going to run it as a drone session Friday, December the 9th in Ontario. You're welcome to come out to the races also on Friday, I'm sure. Saturday, we're going to be in Ohio, have an open house here at the grandstand at Northfield Park, and go with all the babies on Saturday. Saturday night, we will have a Christmas party at Mohawk. Anybody wants to come, we'll have the RSVPs out this week, and it should be a lot of fun for both. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. It's been a long week. It's been a very taxing, stressful and upsetting at times, and very gratifying and happy at other times. So, as I said from the outset, a bit of a metaphor is what this week is. This is all what horse racing is about. It's good, it's bad, it's fun, it's sad, but you know what? Through it all, we stay together as a group, and we'll move forward together in such a manner. So, with that, I will talk to all of you very, very soon. I hope you're having a great weekend. I'm sure some of you are having a great weekend and some of you are not, but as I said, hopefully next week's a better week for all of us. And with the open house coming up and Christmas coming up, it should be a lot of fun for everybody. So with that, I will talk to you all very soon. Take care. I hope all is well. Bye-bye.